What's up? Welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I am Morrow, your storyteller for today, and with me I have some more RPG horror stories. I think I know what I want to do till the end of the year. Like when the year is finally over, maybe we'll just have a big rant-a-thon or something. I don't know. I want to do something for this year, just something enjoyable as a big farewell and an FU to 2024 and welcoming hopefully a more enjoyable year in 2025. I'm so sick of this year. You know what? I'm sick of talking about being sick of this year. You know what I'm not as sick of though? RPG horror stories. Oh, I've missed you so much. Let's get some more for today. How both my DM and another player tried to me. TLDR at the end. We'll provide screenshots in the comments. Since I don't know if I have passed the 30-second mark or not, I don't know if I can really talk about these sort of things. And I know YouTube can be really touchy about these sort of topics and subjects and everything, so I may just end up censoring myself quite a bit. Depends on the topic and the wording used here. Not because I just want to sanitize the story, I just really like this YouTube channel. Hi, this is my first time posting on the subreddit, let alone Reddit itself. I've been watching a lot of Den of the Drake, hell yeah, Crit Crab, hell yeah, and Crispy's Tavern, hell yeah, and finally chose to do a post to my own. Also content and trigger warning, mentions of SA and abuse. For context, I was 17 when this story happened, which was about a year ago, coming up with 2, so forgive me, my memory is a bit clouded. That was my first ever D&D game outside of playing with family, and last time I played with my family was when I was only 13. I began looking around through different Discord's D&D servers and finally set on a post I liked. I shot a message to the DM. Now I noticed a lot of posts always require 18 plus or 21 plus, but he didn't say anything, so the first thing I asked was if it was okay I was 17. He informed me that it was fine. I'd just be the youngest player. Cool, no big deal. He asked me to hop on VC and to do an interview, so we did. I don't remember if there was anything weird here, I just remember chatting for a while and trying to awkwardly cut off the conversation to go to bed, because I remember it being pretty late. Finally we ended the call, and while he was talkative, nothing struck me as weird from what I remember, so I began creating my character. She was an Eladrin Dragon Warden Ranger. That was like a bounty hunter, except she only took good aligned bounties, basically just an adventurer, but she had no issues getting her hands dirty at times. Came up with her backstory that was that she lived a normal life as a kid. However, high elves attacked their village and enslaved her people. She and her parents and younger sister were able to escape, but with now nothing to their names, they need to find a new life. That's when my character began to take small jobs and worked her way up the ladder. However, the DM decided instead of me being a Drake Warden, he changed it to be a Phoenix Warden. I thought, okay, cool, but I'm not sure why Phoenix. And plus, he had to homebrew it, but he never ended up doing it, so a brand new player tried my best too. He approved it, and my character was a Phoenix Warden. Also, the whole bit around high elves coming to enslave her people was also his idea, as apparently high elves hated all other elves. I thought this was fine and moved on. There's a lot of changes, but I'm not seeing anything red flaggish so far. The change to Phoenix Warden, that actually sounds kind of cool. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised Phoenix has not been a theme for any subclasses in D&D as far as I know. If there is something out there, let me know, because I think there should be maybe like a sorcerer of the Phoenix, I don't know, Phoenix bloodline or something. I don't know. That'd be pretty cool though. Now, time to meet the other players. There was a high elf wizard we'll call Void, a furbolg bard we'll call Poet, a human fighter we'll call Ghost because they won't come up much, and lastly a warlock tiefling we'll call Shyly. Shily? I don't know how to pronounce it. Everything seemed fine upon the first meeting, we seemed to get along well and even shared art. I also remember both the DM and me letting the group know of my age, which everyone seemed fine with. Fast forward to the first issue, the DM had another group go in the same world at the same time as ours, just doing other things, and he allowed us to listen to their session. I couldn't go because I was at work, but apparently Poet did. From secondhand knowledge, Poet was constantly popping up during those sessions, crackling jokes, laughing loudly, and overall not being respectful of their game. This of course upset the other players in our group, and they talked to the DM. The only reason why I found this out is the DM weirdly told me, and only me, but fine, whatever, maybe they were just having a good time. I shrugged this off. Okay, yeah, I really don't know why they only told you. this is gonna be sound weird, but I'm assuming maybe they took a liking to you a little bit too much and started telling you unnecessarily random things to try to prod at your trust or something. I don't know. I have no idea why they told you specifically. It would be one thing if they told everybody in private in general and just kind of updated, hey, barded players not gonna be joining in and stuff because this and that, or we had to talk with bard players behavior, blah 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 blah, and we'll move on from there. Let me know if you have any issues, you know, being generally cordial and stuff. My heebie-jeebie senses are kind of going off, and not just from the title, just the behavior is weird, genuinely weird. I don't know why. I can't explain it. It just, something feels off already, you know? Now comes our first session. We didn't do a session 0. Oh, I know, shame on us, striking me down now, but we jumped right on my character being the focus. Remember, I was new, so being the spotlight, while could help me, was nerve-wracking. Nonetheless, I put on my best face and roleplayed. The setting starts out in Desert City, where my character took up a job to help a noble find his daughter that ran away or was kidnapped. The quest giver was a tall and strong and mysterious black-furred Leonin named King. I'm sure he was meant to be our DMPC, but we never got far enough to figure that out. He gave my character to the quest and said a group he had hired should be on the way soon. They showed up and we all talk, and of course, Void is a high elf. Now, my character isn't going to flat out hate on her because she knows not all high elves, and they're also a new player like me. I thought that maybe our characters could grow and be friends. However, King pulled my character aside and asked me, "Are you sure you want to go on a mission with that high elf? I know how you feel about them." Which was weird. My character had no backstory relations to the character and wouldn't share a personal matter like that. Forgot to mention, I was wearing a necklace that shifted the tone of my skin to a normal shade, so my character was safe in case the character was evil or whatever. I just had my character respond with, "Business is business," and left it at that. Again, my heebie-jeebie senses are going off, but yeah, it just kind of feels weird. You probably should talk to the player, be like, "Hey, so how much would you be told to this King character? Or are you keeping all your stuff a secret?" You know, feels just a little bit weird, like, "Hey, I know about your backstory, about this whole thing, so if you have any problems, you know, you don't have to, like, go on to this quest." Like, I didn't even tell you anything, man. I just said, "Hi, I'm here for the job," and you already know stuff about me? That's kind of weird, but okay. Like I said, my heebie-jeebie senses are just going off constantly. Not having a session 0 was probably a horrible thing, and I don't know if in this situation it was malicious for the DM or not. Maybe they did it on purpose, I have no idea, but you probably should discuss with a player who is a minor at your game and the youngest player who is not 18 at your game about the kind of themes you're gonna have. Also, you should probably treat them as a minor, because they are a minor. It would be extremely inappropriate to do anything weird with them. So, but we all read the title, we basically know what it's about, so let's continue. Fast forward traveling to abandoned camp, we'll make camp about halfway there. Throughout the night, we took watches when it was my character's turn to watch. Poe decided to also take watch with mine, which was cool. We chatted and shared some backstory, and my character revealed to her that she was an Eladrin, taking off the necklace, to which their character says something like, "Your skin is as beautiful as the ocean." Something like that. I just said thank you, thinking that they were trying to lift my character's mood. We'll finish up the scene, end of the session, and I'll go to bed. In the morning, I woke up to the DM's message telling me how wonderful the roleplay was, and how many other players, the ones from the other campaign that was listening in, loved how much emotion I put into the roleplay. I was a bit confused, but flattered nonetheless. I later came out to find out nobody said that. They didn't say anything bad, they just weren't tripping over themselves to say those things. But I didn't find that out till much later. It's not love bombing, definitely. Compliment bombing? I feel like this DM is basically trying to blow smoke up the person's ass in order to basically, I don't know, maybe flatter them or try to get their attention. They're definitely doing this manipulative thing where basically they're like saying, "Oh, your roleplay was so amazing, everybody thought it was so good," and stuff. Overly encouraging for no reason. I have no idea what the intention for this is. Maybe to get on their good graces? But we already read the title, so we probably know that it's done in a malicious way. It's not love bombing, definitely. Maybe it is, I don't know, maybe it's a form of love bombing. If you understand what I'm talking about, if you could let me know, like, in more detail if I'm onto something here, or what the specific method of manipulation is, then I would love to hear it. I don't understand, like, psychology terms or anything, but you know what I mean. We have the DM being a little bit extra sleazy, a little bit extra close to the new player, the new girl in town, and it's really uncomfortable. Second session comes around, and the DM had been talking to me throughout the week. Not even about D&D, but just random stuff. I respond, of course, out of kindness, but I don't really care for anything he tries to talk to me about. Come close to session time, and me and a few players, Poet and Ghost, were just chilling in voice chat waiting. Poet begins to talk about how they wrote poems and stuff, sharing a few of them, and, well, they were corny, but I wasn't going to judge. However, they asked me to read one. I said sure, and they sent me one in DMs. I read it over first, and well, it was so sexual and not safe for work. Like, out of all the poems you could have sent, I told them I was uncomfortable reading something like that out loud and reminded them I was a minor. To which they said, oops, sorry, totally forgot. I just dropped it, and the session began. We get back from scouting the camp to a fire happening in the middle of the city. We thought the city was on fire and rushed to see what was happening. King appeared and stopped us, updating us. Apparently some other NPC who I forgot was murdered by some guys and they were burning his body. As my character watched the fire, saddened by his death, King placed his hand on my character's shoulder and just started comforting her. Nobody else. Out of character, he said that King sees her as his little sister, or daughter, mind you. Her parents aren't dead, and I never okayed this. I went along with it, however, not really knowing what else to do. Not sure what else we did that session, but it ended. Lessons for the future. If something like that is going on and you're not cool with it, not comfortable with it, best to say it out loud. I get the person's new and they probably don't know the decorum and they don't know, like, yeah, if it's uncomfortable, say it out loud, make some sort of noise and stuff. But just I guess in the future, right? I'm not gonna blame OP because, like I said, they're new. They don't know what's going on. They don't know if this is, you know, like a normal thing. They're just kind of writing it out to see what happens. But in the future, and for anybody that's going to be trying stuff out, if you're ever in a weird situation where DM is doing something that's kind of let him know. Be like, hey DM, that was kind of I'm not interested with Let's not do again. You know what I mean? If a situation makes you uncomfortable, best to speak up instead of holding it in. Anyway, after this session, the DM privately messaged me asking what I looked like. At this point, I didn't care, so I showed him, not thinking anything of it, because other people in the server were also open with their looks. Ooh, before I continue, and I'm already skimming some stuff that I really don't like. Before I continue, if you are underage, best thing to do is just not give away your personal stuff. I mean, even if you are of age and you're just talking with strangers, best thing to do is just not giving away anything unless you're close to that person. But especially if you're underage, I'm assuming a Discord full of adults and people that are 18 and over, you do not tell them anything about yourself whatsoever, and unless somebody that you really trust. But even then, it's a bunch of strangers online. First of all, adults should not be prying stuff like this from minors whatsoever, or asking these kind of questions, because it's really inappropriate. But second of all, if you don't know these people, you generally don't know. You don't know this DM, you're not close to this DM. No matter how much you guys talk online, if you don't know anything about them, who they are, where they live in general area and stuff like that, you really shouldn't be divulging this kind of information whatsoever. It's just not a safe thing to do. When you're of age and you trust some people, you know, for a couple years and stuff, and you know they're cool with, yeah, you do whatever you want. But not if you're a minor. Definitely just don't divulge anything about yourself. Listen, people out there will indeed use information they can get from anybody. Try to do something awful, try to do something terrible. I was hit with a scam so elaborate it literally made me lose my channels. But I mean, now it's back. But either way, just do not divulge anything personal about yourself online. Especially, don't divulge yourself to people you don't know. General things are fine to tell, like, you know, oh yeah, I live, like, you know, east coast of the US, or like northern eastern coast, whatever, you know, general things that aren't gonna pinpoint anything specific. But don't divulge private information about yourself. If you're of age and you trust people and you have like friends, like really close friends you know for years, do whatever. But if you're a minor, just don't. He stated something along the lines of, wow, I wasn't expecting that, and did the infamous, you just sound and act so mature. This guy is using the you act so mature because he's trying to like get close to this girl who's underage, by the way. He's trying to, this is basically could be considered flirting, like really gross flirting. He's trying, it's like more of the compliment bombing or something like that. Yeah, I think that's a proper term, compliment bombing. It's to try to get in someone's favors, because to try to get him to see you as more friendly or something, or on your side or whatever. I don't know if there's any other term for this. It's not love bombing, offering compliments and just trying to shower them with compliments here and there and whatever, just to try to get their attention. It's gross, it's disgusting. You should leave the minor alone. Leave the kids alone. Leave minors alone. Well, I mean, we're already deep into this. Let's keep going. I just shrugged it off and went to bed. At some point, Poet got kicked out, and I later found out they were trying to romance my character, who was also 17. Like, me and no backstory also had topics of SA and abuse of being sold off and treated badly, so glad they were gone. Their character was also a pacifist, but later in a bar fight they killed someone, so yeah. Also not okay. Also not okay to do. Just, what? You really shouldn't be playing with these kind of people, honestly. Like, this is already like a 3-strike system. Strike 1, not safe for work stuff. Strike 2, DM being really weird and creepy. Strike 3, poet and whatever is going on. I feel like it's a 3-strike system. You should have just been out of there. Just ran for the hills. However, now it's time to dive fully into the DM. He would always try and get me in VCs alone. Asking me what I was doing, if I could call. Pulled me and only me aside to interview another player after we kicked one player and another left. And overall, just being creepy. I decided that I wanted to start my own campaign, and unfortunately, invited him and a few other players too. For session 1, I wanted to dive a bit into players' backstories to mesh into the story, and while others did the MVC with everyone else, he refused and wanted to keep his secret. His character also had a little sister I had to roleplay and a lover, but thankfully I never had to roleplay the lover. He also said many times he thought of me like his little sister, and it just made me so uncomfortable. I probably only knew him for maybe a handful of months. This is gross. Wood chipper. Wood chipper is the only solution. This guy is getting extremely uncomfortable. This is not a way. This is the most inappropriate way to talk to minors. Don't talk to minors in this way. Don't force them to roleplay your little sister character, because you're literally flagging yourself for a weird PDF fantasy, and it's just not okay. It's so not okay. This is 100% a PDF file moment trying to get the underage DM to roleplay a little sister fantasy so they can I don't even want to guess what they're gonna do. Definitely something unsavory. Definitely something unsavory. I'm just gonna cut it over there and continue. At some point, me and a few other girls in a group made a group chat to just share things about our characters, and at some point we started to share DMs. Not only was he trying to me, but he was advancing on the other players as well, even one with a wife. One of the players that was male confronted him about this, and while he was doing that, we added all the girls and told him about everything, and all shared what this guy was doing behind the scenes. Of course, we ended up kicking him out, blocking him, and moving on. He's still a big joke to us now, and Void is still a longtime friend of mine, and we joke about how King was probably his Fursona. Even though nothing sexual happened, his behavior was gross. That's not the first time it happened to me. I just really wanted a D&D game and ignored the signs. While my campaign did go about a half a year, at some point it ended due to other issues, but maybe that's a story for another time. Thank you for reading, and I hope it was entertaining at least. It's more gross than entertaining. I mean, it's great to see the guy just getting booted out and y'all forgetting, just not interacting and catching the signs and red flags before it turns into something absolutely horrible. We also have screenshots included about the entire conversation. While I really don't like the guy whatsoever and I don't want to give him any more time, I feel like he'll give us a little bit more context in depravity and cringe. So strap in your cringe suits, put on your wonderful cringe suits of radioactivity and cringe, and let's go ahead and dive into this mess. There's the poem, the not safe for work poem. Love, let my lipstick stain, let my fingers roam. Let me hear your voice, oh so magical. You wear my t-shirt like a dress, on you that crap's excellent. The fabric's soft just like your skin. Tell me why you've never been in love before. Let me show you how this goes, don't hold your breath, I'll go real slow. 1 step, 2 step, give him a show. Cause I just wanna embrace you, kiss my face if you want to. Cause I want you to, yeah I want you to. Ugh, this is honestly, this poem kinda sucks. Could definitely use work, but definitely don't show it to a 17-year-old. Not gonna lie, it's gonna sound stupid, but I'm glad you reached out for D&D with us. You're younger than me, but when we're chatting, I don't feel like I'm talking to a kid or anything, and you've become one of my good friends. I hope we can call each other other than that, or even best friends one day. You're already at chaotic little sister vibes, and I'm all here for it. Haha, yes, I'm glad I joined too. I'm really enjoying the group so far, and I hope I can continue to do so. And I bet you have some not safe for work RP you've done as well, cause you're a degenerate. Nope, never got into that. Good, stay away from it. Trust, I have no plans of getting into it. Safina is canonically 17 years old in human years. Your voice does not match your age, you sound older. I've never been told that, lol. Always been told I sound younger. And yeah, I don't mind showing. You sound, how do I phrase, like you're very well taught in English? Sounds weird, but hear me out. The way you speak, you can go from serious to happy to sad to whenever in tone of the drop of a dime. Times I heard you go deep too. I was like, she's a voice actress and she's bamboozling us. Yeah, it's not at all what I expect you to look or sound. This is gonna sound awful. Are you mixed or black, etc.? I don't know if that's a filter, but I couldn't tell. God, this guy sounds like a complete incel. Inbred incel. That's what he sounds like. He sounds like an inbred incel. Ugh, Jesus. Do you have school or are you out? I still have school, so I have to be after the wrap-up session. Senior? Junior? You're super small. Lol, yeah, I just turned 17 in March. Your voice does not match your age. You sound older. Would it be weird to ask what you look like? No issues if you're not comfortable at all. I don't want you to think I'm a creepy perv, haha. Just super curious because I thought you were 18 about to graduate, Lamal. Yeah, you are a creepy perv. And yes, this is super weird. Don't ask a minor for the picture. This guy's a bona fide PDF file. My goodness. You're doing amazing, chick. You're a pro. I wouldn't know at all you're shy. Thank you. I think the people I'm with help too. I like the bold personalities, helps me bring mine out better. Now I'm excited for the big group crossover later on. Me too. This has been a really nice session. Did you enjoy it? Yeah, I loved it. I made a selfie pet pics thing so everyone can share themselves on pets. I don't know if you saw it. I'm curious to what everyone looks like. Okay. Is you being 17 gonna be an issue to play at all? It should be fine. I'm fine with adult topics. I was asked to ask you. We're a bit older than you, and none of us want to deal with parents or boyfriends or girlfriends getting mad at you and freaking out on us. This guy is literally prodding for personal information, trying to see if the girl even has anybody that she's together with. This is gross. I feel like I'm covered in slime. Somebody please help me. Oh no, of course not. My family plays D&D and I'm currently single. And as long as no one is trying to get with me, then everything is fine, which I highly doubt anyone will. Another good rule for minors, don't tell them these kind of things at all. Don't tell them if you're single or not single. Don't give any sort of personal information whatsoever. If it's somebody from your school that you know, yeah, you could probably talk about this kind of stuff, but not with a stranger online, especially if you're a minor. Don't give them any sort of thing like that. Don't tell them any discerning information. Don't show your face or anything, because this kind of guy, this kind of creep is going to try to use everything they can to prod information out of you. No, not happening, but there's some adult stuff, but nothing erotic roleplay. We don't do that for many reasons. Yes, then everything will be fine. I'm gonna confide something in you because I trust you. You cannot tell the group, but I trust you. I'm not 28 and I'm not a delivery driver. I'm 23 and I'm under WPP for something that happened to me years ago. I work in an auto department repairing cars. Oh, what's a WPP? Witness protection. Either the guy is lying to try to make themselves seem younger because they can't face the reality of the RND 28 talking to a 17-year-old. You're 10 years older than the child. Leave the child alone, you freak. And yes, I understand she's not really a child, but still, she's a minor. You shouldn't be talking like this to a minor. It's inappropriate. It's just inappropriate. I'm not okay with it. I'm not cool with it. And it's not a conversation about the age of consent. The entire point is she's a minor. You shouldn't talk inappropriately to a minor. And what this guy is saying here is indeed, in fact, inappropriate, and he deserves to be going through a wood chipper. I'll buy him first ticket to a wood chipper myself. Anyway, gross. I need a shower. Like, actually, unironically, I'm gonna take off my stuff and go take a shower from this. This is actually gross. And with that, that's gonna be all our stories for today. I want to thank you very much for watching, and thanks so much for being here. If you like what I do, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Also, if the RPG Horror Stories ever goes down, or if you want to submit your own personalized horror story, email is down in the description below. I'll see you again in more Tales tomorrow. Bye-bye.